Hey there, what's up, guys? Hey, just so you know, these videos that I have coming out, it's 11 o'clock Eastern time in the US, in the afternoon for you in the UK, are going to be a little bit out of sync with my Yanbian FC save for a little while. So that save, if all goes according to plan, and I'm filming this a couple of days more earlier than you're seeing this, if all goes according to plan, you should not see much of a drop-off in the save. We'll just go straight into the next season. However, videos like this one are setting up the transfer window in the summer in between the first season and the second season for Yanbian FC. The reason why I do this is in part because I don't really want to create a very, very long transfer special type video. I know that other people do that. That is fine. That doesn't really fit in with sort of the style of the channel and with the style that I play Football Manager with very well. The other reason why is because there's a couple of things I want to show you that might be somewhat helpful for you. So here we are in Football Manager. We're going to take a real quick look at a couple of places. First of all, I want to show you our transfers in. We're going to take a look at all of the transfers that are coming in this summer, and this will give you an idea of why I don't do a transfer special, right? Because whereas some people have like the transfer window and stuff like that, that's when people come in. Not for me, right? So I've been signing players like left and right. And my focus on scouting has been, as you can see, on young players at every single position, including positions we don't play, and especially on Chinese players. We try to get as many young Chinese players as we possibly can. The reason why is because ideally at each of these positions, we should at some point in time in the future have good quality young Chinese players who can play at every single position. So that in theory, if we wanted to, eventually we can put together a 100% Chinese team to go out and play. It's going to take a while for us to get there, right? There's some positions like goalkeeper where we have to do that because that's the rule. You have to have a Chinese goalkeeper, so you look for the best one you can find. There are other positions where, you know, the best like current players might be good. They're a little expensive. Personally, I prefer to do it this way. I prefer to go out and get the good young players. We'll just pick one at random. So there's this guy, Zheng Ziwei. My scouts hate young players. They give them all Fs and Ds, right? I don't know. Maybe he has the ability, maybe not. Fairly Loyal is not a great personality, honestly. But, you know, he doesn't have anything bad. He's consistent. He looks like he will work hard for us. We can stick him in and see what happens. He's going to cost us, like, absolutely nothing. It doesn't say here, like, what we're spending on him. I think if we go back to this page, yeah, we spent 40,000 renminbi on this guy. So we're spending nothing on him, right? I mean, our transfer budget is, 372 million renminbi, right? So it's okay. We can do stuff like that. We can get guys like that who maybe are not going to be superstars. We can pull them in, put them in the under 19s and sort of see what happens, right? That's what we want to do. We want to get these guys in when they're really, really young. We want to get them homegrown. We want to get them built up as much as we possibly can and turn them into Yanbian FC players as if they had come up through our system all along. There are reasons why I do that. The biggest reason why is because those young players, once they've been through the system and come up, are much more likely to be willing to take the playing time you give them instead of throwing a stupid fit because, oh, I was supposed to be a star and I'm not good enough, so now I'm not a star anymore or whatever, right? I don't know about you. I don't have any time for that. I don't have time for that crap, right? So, like, no, not happening here. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing that we're going to look at here really quick is our squad planner, if I can find it. There it is. So there are some things that we know about already, right? If you've been watching, you know about our goalkeeping here. You will recognize some of these names: João Victor, Stefan Jovanovic, Zhang Jianyi, who unfortunately is out with a long-term injury. He'll probably miss all of next season. Honestly, I don't think that he'll ever play for us again, which is a shame. So we're going to need another left back. However, instead of being like, okay, let me go search for a Chinese left back or someone like that, what I really want to do is I want to be able to reach down to the under 21s and say, okay, who's next? And pull the next guy up, or go even to the under 19s and say, okay, do we have somebody who can play left back who preferably has like a professional type personality who isn't going to be a complete disaster from the start? That is the way that I want to do squad building. I want to make it very, very organic, and I want to make it all contained here at club and make it so that we have good cohesion that's being trained at the lower levels and that we sort of promote from within instead of necessarily running out and doing all this other stuff. Now, we can spend the money, but I want to spend that money on the kids as soon as I can possibly get them instead of spending them on like a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old, kind of like we did before last season. Now, how do we use the squad planner? Here, I'll show you the way that I'm going to use it. So We're going to go here to the center backs. The way that I do this, and this is the way that I will probably do this multiple times this summer as we go look for holes to fill, is I'll ask the assistant for current position. Now, there's some guys who you don't recognize here, right? Kelvin Abrefa came in last season. He came in the January transfer window from Leyton Orient. We bought him for $4.75 million. He's actually originally with Reading. This guy's good. This guy is probably going to be the best right back at the club. The problem that we had, though, is, as you can see here, he was with 3 clubs in that season. That's a no-no, and so we couldn't play him. As a result, he stayed in the under-21s, played really well, was really cool with it, despite being agreeing with me to be a regular starter. I tried to loan him out. No one would take him. So we just kept him there. He will not be a center back, though. He's going to be a right back. So we'll take him off. We all know about Lee Jin-young, right? This is pretty boy Lee Jin-young, who had an excellent season. It looks great. If you read the blog, he features in the blog and in my story a lot. He's on $465,000 a week, which is the highest wage at the club. We're paying him way too much, but he's really good. But he's not going to play center back. Paulsen is where this starts, right? So we know that Christopher Paulsen is going to be number 1 at the center back position. And who do we have next? Park Myung-sung. Well, we know that he's going to be right back. So we'll just take him off there. How long is he injured for? A couple of weeks. Not a big deal. Torres was injured for a while. He's back. He's going to be a center back. Now, next up here is Yeje, who's really upset with me because I'm not playing him well enough. Actually, no, I guess he's happy now. Now that I said that you're a fringe player, we're going to sell him. We need to get the wages off. He's just not good enough. So we take him off in here. And who do we have next? We have Elias Stale Howland, who you've seen in a couple of episodes. You can kind of see this, right? So we go down and say, okay, yeah, this is a center back. Jonovic, we're going to move on. We're going to sell him. Yen Kun, if you've been watching this, Yen Kun has been there for a long time. Ariel, for a long time. We got him in January. Ariel Guzman, we're going to keep on a hold of him. We didn't play him much before. Li Chao was this guy I bought really only for his personality. What is he? He's a resolute personality. I just wanted to have an old guy with a good personality. I mean, we're never going to play him, so goodbye. And then the last one is Shi Jiayang. And this way we have 1, 2, 3 different groups of center backs for these 2 positions each. That's what we're going to do on this squad. We can have up to 50 players registered on the squad. So we might as well do that just in case something happens. And I want to make sure that at least 2 of them are Chinese. So there's at least 1 Chinese player per position. And I want to make sure here that I have at least 1 player who's like young and, like the sky's the limit. And that's kind of Shi Jiayang, even though, as I've shown you before, the coaches think he's not good enough. I know better. He's been playing well for us so far. He'll be fine. It'll be okay. That's the way that I'm going to go through. This is what I'm going to do with the entire squad. Now, this will, of course, go completely like haywire because, as we just saw, when we look at the transfers coming in, we go back up to our center backs. We have a lot of center backs coming in. A lot of them are probably not going to play on the squad right away, right? So Jing Junbo, for example, he comes in. He's fairly professional. I love players like this. Professional, fairly professional. You belong on this club. He's going to come in. He'll probably go straight over to the under-19s. We'll go to the under-19s, take whoever's on there, put them in the under-21s, and we're going to move up from there. And now, what do we do with all the players who are not on the this list? Well, we're going to sell them. If we can't sell them, we'll try to loan them out. Now, when we go through our under-21s, and I'm going to show you here, we have a ton of players in the under-21s. Remember, all the purple ones come back. When all these guys come back, we're going to take this big look at them with the squad planner. We're going to go through it position by position, figure out who looks like our best, who's not our best. And we're going to be very, very fastidious about personalities, try to get rid of as many balanced players as we can, focused on those who are professional and who we think can develop well because we want a professional squad. And then everybody who doesn't fit is going to be either sold or loaned out. I will show you in future videos what I do to loan these players out. We're not going to use the loan manager. We're not going to use the development list because it doesn't work quite right. We're going to show you the right way to loan players out and the right way to do things with these players who you're not going to be able to play otherwise. Not everybody's going to be able to be loaned out. I know. I mean, that's just sort of what happens. It's okay if we can't loan them all out. What we do is we go over to our affiliates. And look at this. We have April 25th over North Korea. We have Dalian Pros in the Super League, so we're probably not going to be able to loan players to them, even though I think we beat them in the Chinese FA Cup. And we have Yanbian Fayuan, which is another very, very small club. Now, I am always looking for a new affiliate club. In fact, we can like talk to them right now and say, hey, we need another club to send our players out on loan and see if the board like actually want to do this or not. They're probably going to say no to me, right? And just sort of keep fighting on with them. I'll walk you through this really quick. This is taking forever because I've got so many players and other stuff loaded. Oh, look, okay, yeah, this is close to your heart. So yeah, we're going to do a new affiliate club. Great. So super. Thank you, Chairman Guo. And by the time that the new season starts, we should have another affiliate club. What we do with these players, in case you don't know, is let's go over here. I don't know. We'll pick on this guy. You can right click, right? And then you go to transfer and you go to... No, it doesn't let me do that for him. It may be, squad, I'm sorry. Go to squad and move to affiliate, and you can move him to one of these affiliate clubs. Now, it won't always work. Sometimes the players will say no. Like, if we try to send them over to, let me show you again here. If we try to send them over to April 25th in North Korea, right? I don't have the North Korea database that Dave, the editor, made loaded up here. So, like, the players over here have no games, right? We have a couple of players over here, Tongjan, Hebalin, Juninho actually might end up coming back into our first team. Aiden Quinn, who probably will end up loaned out somewhere else. Gustavo Rico, who might be able to come back to the first team. We'll see. Anyway, these players are kind of like being held over here because I don't have any place for them here and we want them to be somewhere, right? And as you can see, none of them are playing games because there are no games to play. I can't do anything about it because I don't control the team, but whatever. We send them over there and bring it back, see what happens, right? If we're not doing this with April 25th, then we'll do this over with, who else do we have? Like Yanbian Fayuan, right? They also have no schedule. Oh, yeah, they had one game against our under-21s, right? So, okay, you can go over there and be part of it and play the game with the under-21s, and all the players are grayed out except for the guys that we have over there on loan. We only have one. But that's the sort of game that we play with this, right? So you try to loan players out. Talk about it a little bit more. You try to loan them out for profit if you can. If you can't, then you can just sort of kick them over to an affiliate club, might as well, and let them develop. And the other thing I would say, and again, we'll talk more about this later on, but for me, I want the players I really want to develop to be at club. I don't want them off somewhere else developing, right? If the guy's young and is good enough for the first team, we're going to put him on the first team, or we're going to sell people to get them out of the way, right? That's my approach. That's different than a lot of other people's approaches, right? But this is kind of the way that I play. Anyway, there you go. That's a real quick introduction to the way that I do the transfer window. That's the way that I've got it set up. That's the plan that we have going forward. If I showed you all the steps and called it like the transfer special or whatever, it would be really long and boring. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it focused on playing matches and on giving you good advice that you can use. I will see you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.